If you hear the noise in the background, that is my G-tube pump. Last night, in the middle of the night, I'm not hooked up to it right now, but last night in the middle of the night, I was hooked up to it, it was running, I was asleep, and it starts beeping really loud. Now, I have the volume on it turned off so that when it finishes running, it does not wake me up every night. Because it disrupts my sleep, and once my sleep is disrupted, sometimes I cannot fall back asleep. I have it running to see if it'll do it again because it said something about an error and it was red. There was a blinking red light on it, and normally when it's done, it's just the yellow blinking light. Or the light isn't even blinking when it's yellow, it's just lit up yellow. So, anyways, I've just got it running. The water is going, that comes out of the bag, is going back into the bag. So, I've just had it on for a few hours to see if it goes off again, but no luck. I've had it running for as long as it would run while it is attached to me, so. Not all of the water went into me last night. It was less than 100 milliliters that did not go into me. I do 1,000, so it's not that much that I didn't get, so. Anyways, I was going to make a whole video on this, but then realized there really isn't that much to update y'all on, so yeah. But now that I've spent 2 minutes talking about my feeds, maybe this will be enough. I saw my neurologist. I had my MDA appointment that I have every 6 months. And saw my neurologist. So, if you're new, I have a form of muscular dystrophy called Myotonic Dystrophy type 1. So, it affects all muscles and organs. Mine starts with the distal muscles. Type 1 starts with the distal muscles, like the hands and feet, and works inward. The symptoms appear sooner with each generation. There's a 50% chance of passing it down. And yeah, that's basically the very simplified, condensed version of what it is. I have a video called Myotonic Dystrophy, What's That? You can find it. It was one of my earlier videos when I started the channel. So, I also have a link in the description with a news interview and maybe an article, news article that I wrote, don't remember. But anyways, or at least something's there. So, yeah. Okay. As y'all know, unless you're new, I've been struggling a lot with the rib pain, which they are pretty convinced now it is pain in my breathing muscles. Bone scan, nothing wrong with my bones. So it's probably is like 99% is muscle. 99% sure it is muscle. So I told my doctor I took myself off of tizanidine, which is a medicine he put me on last time I saw him to try, because it would make me too sleepy during the day, and when I would take it at night, I would sleep for 2 hours and then be wide awake and not able to fall back asleep the rest of the night. And then that made me even more tired the next day, and it was just terrible. Not a good thing. And sleep is very important, especially for someone with muscular dystrophy, or at least my kind, because one of the symptoms is excessive daytime sleepiness. So I told him I took myself off that medicine, and then he was completely okay with that. Completely okay. So I'm like, great. Because that was one of the things I was worried about, that he might not be okay with it. So that was good. And then, let me back up for a minute. There is another doctor and a student always come in first. Sometimes it's just student, but there is this other doctor that I really don't like. Okay, the last couple times he has not said a lot of cuss words, but he usually is using some language, some I've never heard of before, because my parents have guarded me my whole life, which I am thankful for. But it's like, you need to keep those words inside you and have better bedside manner. He also makes these jokes which are not funny at all. I mean, like, he was doing these exercises and we're like, you're going ahead of me now, stop, going ahead of me, trying to be funny. It wasn't funny. It's like, I've had these appointments hundreds of times. I know what you're going to say to do next, which is pull me close, push me away, and like, put your arms like this, push me away, pull me close, and stuff like that. Touch my finger and touch your nose. Follow my finger with your eye. Don't move your head. Be loose, I'm gonna move your things for you. But like, he would say, push me, and then he would be good and I would already start to pull him without him even telling me. So he said that. He said, I'll examine you and the student will examine your dad. And it was like, great, I've got you. My dad and I were in the same room, but he wanted to give the student a chance to practice what they've learned. And my dad actually taught him something that he didn't know, so that was good. So my dad and I always hate it when that old guy's there. The guy who examined me, he's so old. Because, I mean, like, even when I was in so much pain, like a level 10 pain a few months ago, when I went to see my neurologist for the first time because the pain had flared up, I think that video is titled, I Hit a Roadblock, maybe. He's making all these jokes and I am in so much pain. I literally was about to burst into tears. It's like, you're trying to be funny. All I want to do is see my doctor. I don't want to see you. And these jokes are not funny. So, I wish I could give a better example. But, we get in the room and he said, you're not supposed to be sick. Why are you here? You shouldn't be sick. You don't need to be sick. That's how he walked in the room. He was like, I make jokes because if you don't laugh, you cry. And it's like, your jokes aren't funny at all. So, anyway, and it's like, we're not sick. We're here for a routine visit. Okay? And he did tell the student at one point, he remembers me from when I was at a level 10 pain, and he said, it's really hard to make this one laugh. Now, my dad made me laugh. They were asking him about his memory, if he, something, do you have trouble remembering things? And my dad said, I don't remember. That made me laugh. And my dad was trying to be funny. It made the doctors laugh too. And so all four of us, me, my dad, and the doctors, were laughing. So, which I know some of you are probably thinking, that's a corny joke. Trust me, the ones that doctor gives are so much worse. But anyways, after all that, my neurologist came in, told him about the medicine like I talked about already. And he said I was doing well. He remembers what I looked like 2 months ago, and I looked awful. I'm sure my hair was in a messy bun that day, and I was probably wearing one of my headbands like this, honestly. So he remembers what I look like then, and he said I look so much better. And he's really happy to see me look as well as I do. So, it went well. My weight is good. He didn't say anything about my weight this time, thank goodness. Because 6 months ago, he asked me if I wanted to see the dietitian, and I said no. Because he was getting a little concerned there. But my weight was good. And yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. He's glad I was doing so well. We did blood work, but I won't get the results back till sometime next week, so. But I'm sure everything is probably fine. If it's not, I'll update y'all. Last time, I don't think I checked my results from this clinic last time. But when they send me a piece of paper from the cardiologist sends me a piece of paper with my blood work results every time there. I had one thing low that my mom said that's normal for muscular dystrophy, or at least myotonic. And then a few things were high, but it wasn't anything concerning. So, the cholesterol was a little high and a couple other things, but I mean, really, I had eaten a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in the car on the way to the cardiologist, so that could have played a role into my cholesterol. I don't know. I did not eat the potato chips though, because I did not want my blood work things to be off the chart. So, anyways, I'm good. As far as I know. So, I think that's all. I'm glad to be doing a little bit better. My pain is usually a 4 or 5 right now, just to update y'all on that. Last Friday, it was a 5. A student asked where my pain was, and I said it was a 5. I was back at work on Wednesday, and a student asked what my pain was, and it was actually a 4. On Valentine's Day, it was a 4. And they were so excited. It was back to a 5 on Friday. Don't know why. Probably a cold front was coming through. It's in like 30s right now, and it dropped 30 degrees, and I'm like, what are you doing to me? But they were asking me, like, what's the lowest it's ever been? And I was like, well, I used to not have pain at all. I didn't have pain until I was like 16 years old. So we talked a little bit about when my pain started and have been in the hospital for it. They're like, well, what's the most it's ever been? Like, it's been a 10 before I've been in the hospital because it's been so bad. So, I think that's all I have for y'all though. If you have any questions about anything, and when I say anything, it can be about my disease, it can be about life, it can be about personal stuff. I will do my best to answer them, and I love questions. I would rather people ask than sit there wondering and not ask. So, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. I would be happy to answer them. And I will see y'all next time. Never lose hope.